Suzanne Leclair. I'm an Ontario lawyer, and I split my time between Montreal and Ontario. I wish I could live full-time in Montreal, but being an Ontario lawyer, it's not possible for me to practice law. So I thought I'd break the rules and try to do it differently. So I started a virtual, not a law firm, because I can't stand law, the truth be told. But I started a virtual firm, and as a firm, I run a small business called Connect Counsel. And as a firm, what I do is I broker deals between large organization and very small organization. And right now I'm in Montreal. I'm in Montreal, I call it my studio. So I'm in Montreal, and everything I've done is, my philosophy of life is try to build a virtual office so you can literally work from anywhere. If you look at my library, I'll just show you, I think just about every book I have is about shift, switch, drive, bounce, free agent nation, for rework, remote. Everything I look and think about is how the future of work happens today. I was just advising another lawyer just on my way to have this Skype meeting with you, and she was asking me, Suzanne, do you wake up and you think you've made the wrong decision when you've decided to go on your own and not work for a large organization? And I told her I'd be lying if I don't doubt myself every once in a while, and probably more often than we actually realize. You always doubt whether or not you've made the right choice in reinventing your rules of work. But the choices really, deep down, the choices are very simple. Every time I doubt myself, I bring back the fundamentals, and I ask myself, how do I want to feel, and where am I the most inspired when I do my best work? And without a doubt, my best work is in very sunny, open, stimulating environments. And I didn't realize, but I actually am a bit more of a loner. I never thought I would be a bit of a loner. I always am very sociable, but ironically enough, you discover something about yourself that either you're more of a loner than you think you are, or vice versa, you might be more of a social person than you think you realize. So by working under my rules, what I am very, very adamant about is I want to have the mobility, the upwardly mobility to decide where I do my knowledge work. And that's what brings me back centered in realizing that yes, I did make the right decision. It took a lot of time. In fact, I plotted while I was working for two Fortune 500 companies. I was plotting my exit strategy. I plotted every day. I didn't mind being inside a large organization because, in my view, large organizations, if they're large and they're global, it's because they've been doing something right. So they give you an MBA and the consideration is that you have to do your best work for them. I started plotting in 2006, and I escaped, if I can use those terms, and I escaped in 2010. It took 4 years. Everyone likes to think about the large organization, about how can I do good for the large organization, but you need to reframe it back to you, because all workers, all professionals are centered on your own aspiration. Exception, maybe I find a lot of women or detail-oriented people really believe, they drank the Kool-Aid, and they believe in it, so they want, of course, to do a good job. So if you're not detail-orientated, if you're more of a prevention-focused individual, your filter is going to be all the time, am I going to make the work area am I going to make this department more efficient? So those are your filters. Now, if you are a leader, your chances are, if you're in an organization or you're a manager or you're an ambitious person, you tend to view the world according to more what they call promotion focus. And that's Heidi Halverson's book, which is very easy. So if you recognize yourself as a promotion focus, you're going to tend to view managerial decision according to what's in it for me. So it's very important to center back, because you're going to be judged from your superior according, are you making the right investment not based on you trying to be good with a supplier or you trying to looking out for your future, your future experience, but you're really going to need to make two business case. One for you, how am I going to benefit? Let's be frank, you're going to benefit. That's how you're motivated. There's not much you can do. But also try to, every time you try to analyze an expense, you have to look at it from am I also going to make this organization more efficient? But it's going to come with a promotion focused perspective. So you need to, am I going to gain something? Am I going to become better? Am I going to become more inspiring? Am I going to lead more efficiently? You got to frame it according to your drives. So it's very important to recognize two sets of drives, two sets of arguments. Well, the problem that I personally face is I talk too much. But how do I know I talk too much? That's a big challenge. So I'm very aware. I wish I had an app that I could put when I'm in a meeting that looks and says, you've exceeded more than half of the discussion. I wish I had that app because, honest to God, you don't know. I see it in others, but do I see it in me? And I'm sure it's the same thing for others. That's the big challenge because you need the less you say, the better it is at work. It'll establish your position of influence. It'll hasten your credibility. The less you say. That's a big challenge for me. That's personal. It's very personal. And then the second challenge I would say is where do I find the time to learn the new skills? Like the next generation of skills to work in the future are not at university. They're not in continuing legal education or continuing professional education. They're not there. The Law Society sends me these books of the future of legal work. I'm not going to read it. They're ridiculous. They're looking at it 10 years out. I need to know I need to do this year. What's the future of work this year? That's the thing. Where do I find the time to learn the new technology? Especially if you are in an organization. If you're not in a large organization, you know you need the skill set to manage your accounting on the fly. You know you need to understand Excel. You don't have that support staff. So if you're on your own, you already know that. But the people that you really need to, people that I wish I could talk to, me when I was if I were to talk to me in a large organization, I would say, learn to do Excel. Learn on your own. Don't wait till your employer gives you those skill sets. Learn how Skype and video conferencing works, because if you have, like, just preparing for you, for instance, if you have too much sun in your face, your face is just an explosion of white. It annoys. When you're on the other side, it annoys you. Learn to know how to do video conferencing. Learn the technology necessary to become more productive. Learn things on your own. Dedicate an hour on Saturday and an hour on Monday morning that you're going to say, I'm going to learn a new skill and really use something concretely to advance your productivity at work. But you have to learn on your own. No one will do it for you. I would suggest to anyone, join a master class with the young 35 years old. I've had, I'm now, after 25 years in working, there's nothing more inspiring than hooking up with the masterclass. I've joined Fizzle. It's a community. It's an online business learning community. I've joined 3 masterclass. It was the best thing I've ever did. You need to get into the masterclass. You need to join the young 35 and under crowd. You need to join and understand what the hell's going on. If you want to, unless you're about to retire and you just want to hang out in Florida, then you don't need to learn this stuff. But if you think you're going to be working for at least the next 5 years, you may feel a lot more secure in learning in a master class, and they're all online. You don't have to be present. I think the future of work is not that much in the future. I think it's this year and next year. So when we look at the future of work, look at how the future of work will affect your work style, not lifestyle, not only lifestyle, But I think if you were to look about the future of work, think about redesigning your work style.
Au revoir.